The Conservatives were joined by Birmingham Edgbaston candidate Ashvir Sangha. Until recently, Ashvir was communications advisor to the former West Midlands Mayor Andy Street. It's still a huge problem.
I think we can always do more, Rob, and it's truly shocking to see those images. And my thoughts go out to the Sangha family. And knife crime is stubbornly high in the West Midlands, and we have some of the worst incidents in the whole country. And something's gone seriously wrong in our society when two 12-year-old children are murdering a 19-year-old man. I was out campaigning in North Edgbaston recently near the reservoir, and I met an older gentleman who has done wonders on his estate. He's a real community leader, and he knows all of the children by name on his estate. He looks out for them and they look out for him. And if I'm lucky enough to be elected on the 4th of July, I would work with local community leaders like that.
And we can see a full list of candidates that are standing in Edgbaston on the BBC website. I mean, part of what you've said there goes to what some people say is the problem, though, around sort of neighbourhood policing. That there are fewer police. So West Midlands Police just getting back to the sort of numbers it had in 2010, but it's had 14 years where the numbers haven't been as high, that community policing hasn't been there, and the result is this kind of rise in knife crime.
Well, some people would say it's 14 years of Tory government. I suspect Sarah might say that. I would say that if you look, since 2012, we've had a Labour Police and Crime Commissioner overseeing police in the West Midlands. But the truth is, Rob, aside from the party politics, it's not just about funding, it's also about leadership. And it's not just working top down, it's working bottom up with the community leaders, getting people around the table to provide the tough love and the local community action that's needed to deal with this issue.
Okay.
And that's a broader issue than just what the government does nationally. But we do need strong community policing, 100%.
Ashvir, obviously the Conservatives have been in charge. I mean, this issue of pollution in rivers, it's almost become symbolic, hasn't it, about some of the state of our other public services. What would the Conservatives do to make that bathing water safe that we saw earlier?
I think we all obviously want clean water to drink, clean water to swim in, and there's clearly an issue around Environment Agency enforcement, particularly of sewage that's being pumped in illegally on dry days. So we need tougher enforcement. We need to give the Environment Agency more teeth to tackle that issue. And the truth is, though, you know, it's party political season, so surprise, surprise, you know, we're blaming governments of different stripes for the issue. But the truth is, the
Conservatives privatised the water industry in the first place, didn't they? And they set up Ofwat, which has failed.
But if you let me answer, Max, the truth is that everyone's on the sofa today trying to score party political points. But the truth is that for decades there's been, under all political parties, under all governments since the 1970s, there's been underinvestment in infrastructure. And the truth is that the long-term fix for this is to have new infrastructure which separates wastewater and surface water. And the truth is that no government since the 1970s has done enough.
But it will always come back to the fact that you've been in charge for 14 years. As Max says, you were in charge of the privatisation. It hasn't worked.
This is a crucial point, Rob, that you've given me the opportunity to make there with your question. I haven't been in charge. I'm in this.
You personally, but
I'm in this as a proactive, locally focused, independent-minded MP.
Okay.
And whether it's a Conservative government or a Labour government, I will have no issue standing up for my hometown and pushing who needs to be pushed.
All right, Ashvir, thank you. Water to improve the state sector, it's right, isn't it, that parents who can afford it could pay that bit more to send their children to independent schools?
Well, our top priority should be to ensure the best possible educational outcomes for all children, all families. And the truth is that this policy will lead to larger class sizes in state schools. In fact, Labour's Shadow Attorney General, Emily Thornberry, was on TV recently essentially saying that if a tax on private schools leads to larger class sizes, something to the effect of so be it. And I think that's completely irresponsible. I think
the numbers from the Department for Education, though, would suggest that it's not putting parents off sending their children to independent schools.
Well, the policy hasn't come into effect yet, but you don't need to take my word for it. The Labour Shadow Attorney General, Emily Thornberry, was on TV saying that she thought it would lead to larger class sizes, and she didn't seem to be too concerned about it. At the end of the day, we need to ensure the best possible education for all children and all families, and this is counterproductive to that. And after everything children have been through since lockdown, we shouldn't be doing anything.
So how will you go about improving
of
education in the state sector, bringing in more teachers?
Well, it's a very cynical move and puts ideology before outcomes for children. If you say that you need this tax on private school, if you say you need this tax on private schools,
what would the Conservatives do?
If you say, I'm just trying to explain, but if you say you put this tax on private schools and that's how you fund the extra schools on teachers, that's not how you need to do it. What you need to do is make the teaching profession, more attractive.
Okay, and how would you do that?
Well, you have to increase salaries for teachers. Okay, you have to also lessen the workload on them, because for too long, under Labour and Conservative governments, teaching is becoming less attractive to too many parents.
So it's partly the Conservative government's fault as well.
It's a bigger issue than that.